So we're going to finish up here with the conflict grid. It's the last tutorial, promise. Okay, so I'm in the equipment reservation form here, and I am back in my Bob test contact that I created. So again, my project field, which project do I want, start date, end date. So I'm going to use something that I know exists. There's a Canon 5D class on May 15th. So I'm going to go to May 15th, and then I'm going to, we open at 4 p.m. So if you remember, if I type in 3 p.m., it's going to give me the errors that says that rentals have to start during our operating hours, and then it lists those hours. So very helpful. So I'm going to select 4 p.m. That error goes away. And then if you remember, it defaults to 30 minutes later. So it's the same day, just 4:30. So you can come in here and then arrow up, and then it kind of, remember, it kind of is, every time you make a change, it kind of flickers a little bit because it's always referencing our database to make sure something is available. So just know that's what's happening. It's not your computer. So I can change this day again. I can go to May 17th at 4 o'clock. Okay, so I've got a 2-day rental or reservation, and then I know the Canon 5D class is going on. So if I come down here and then I want to select this top Canon 5D, and I can come down, if you remember, if you have your start date and end date put in, it'll start compiling your reservations down here. This will not happen if you do not have a start date or end date. So if you come into the reservations page and you start clicking away at equipment and nothing's coming up here, it's because you don't have a start or end date. So just remember that. So it tells me this is unavailable. This Canon 5D is unavailable. So if this was you on a Tuesday, you're like, okay, I guess that one's unavailable. Check the next one. You go down here, it's unavailable. And so on. I could just start clicking all 4 of them, and all 4 are unavailable. So that's either a really busy Tuesday or a class that's going on. So we rarely have all 4 out on a Tuesday. So I automatically or immediately see that this is unavailable. So I can check this button here, which says check availability. And what I get is I get a conflict grid for each piece of equipment that was unavailable. So I've got all 4 Canon 5D Mark IIIs that are showing this red mark here as being unavailable. And so that's a really short reservation, so that's got to be a class. So my reservation that I was trying to make is this upper line here. So straight across here. So it was May 15th at 4 o'clock until May 17th at 4 o'clock. The conflict is this lower row, which is May 15th at 6 p.m., May 15th at 10 p.m. So that's the red. So that tells me if I want one of these 5Ds, I have to reserve it after 10 p.m. So I have a couple options, and it's the same conflict for every camera. So I have a couple options. I can either click this blue box with the X to remove the equipment, or I can come down here to the bottom and check or click this back to submissions page. Do not hit the back button. That will mess up. That'll make you start from scratch. So it's either going to be these blue boxes to click or this back to submissions page. So I can check the back to submissions page. And now that I know what's going on, I can just X out of these guys, have my one camera, come up here and change this to 10, and then I'll make this to 15. And now we're good. It says available. So that's kind of my starting point. That's the camera I want. And now I can come in here and add the gear that I want to go along with it. So for audio, I'm going to do a wireless kit. So that shows up. That's unavailable. So I'm going to check this wireless kit. That's available. So this guy, getting rid of that, Xing that out. So that kit's good. And then let's see, I want a shoulder mount. Let's take a shoulder mount out. So go into grip and rigs, shoulder mount. Come down here, that's available. And then we're going to need a lens, so I'm going to do my zoom lens that's available, and then that might be it. That's all I have certifications for. I don't have any field lighting certifications. So they're all here. That's what I want. I'm going to hit confirm. Just check your project, your start date, your end date. Remember the times, because again, currently those do not show up on the list on the portal. So just remember when you're picking up. Mainly just remember when you're picking up, and then we'll have the contract for you that has your return day and time. This is your equipment, this is your information, and then you hit submit. All right, success. Your reservation has been logged and is pending approval. Now on Charles to approve it, and then you can always come back to your projects page, see your reservation list, and you'll see that gear showing up for May 16th here.